What's going on, everybody? You're listening to Trash Deer Radio, episode 15, the big 1-5. The same age that Lucas got his first kiss.
All right.
Fair enough.
Congrats, think
Lucas.
about it.
I'm your host, Tyler, joined today by the frag master himself, Lucas,
Double meat.
and the tatted man, Chance.
With cheese.
I was fucking driving here, the damn Subway commercial, and it's like the baby's first words, and she's like, double meat. So now that's my new motto.
That's your new motto is double meat. Is that what it is?
Yeah, double meat.
That's what she said.
All right. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter. What is that, Chance, again?
At Trash Deer Sports.
One more time?
At Trash Deer Sports. And that's not AT. That's like the curvy circular A symbol that you put when you're like emailing someone.
What is it, 2010?
All right. Make sure you also subscribe to us on YouTube. Listen to us on Google Play, Spotify, and YouTube. All of our podcasts are posted there. Today we're going to talk a little bit about Fallout. I have a hockey story for once about my first ever hockey game. You can hear about all my great takes from that one. But first, we're going to start on a little bit more serious note here on the Trash Deer Radio. And running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, Kareem Hunt, was cut from the Kansas City Chiefs after a video surfaced from TMZ of a domestic violence video between him and his girlfriend at the time. Reportedly what happened was Kareem Hunt lied about what was on the video to the Chiefs. Then whenever the video came out, the Kansas City Chiefs almost immediately cut him. He has gone past waivers. No one has picked him up. He is on the NFL's
Commissioner's exempt list.
So we're going to start with Chance on this one, and you're going to tell us how you feel.
Yeah, so the NFL it's a two-way street. So they're not against you beating women, but if there's video proof of it out there, you're going to get fucking cut.
And that's very true, because there's so many accused domestic violence doers.
Yep.
But they're allowed because there's no proof.
Yep. If there's video evidence, you're all but fucked.
James Harrison
had no video evidence. Ray Rice had video evidence. Reuben Foster, no video evidence. Kareem Hunt, video evidence. Two of those continued playing and one is still playing, and two of them are out of the league entirely. Let the fans, the listeners, the viewers
put it in the comments below.
Guess who's playing and who's not.
And who's retired.
And who's retired.
Lucas?
I mean, there's just really not much to say about it that hasn't already been said. He did something terrible, and he got what he deserves.
Totally.
Now we're just waiting on criminal sentencing.
Beat your meat, not your woman.
Wow.
Great. There's a slogan.
That's my new motto.
The Jerry Jones came out, and he mentioned that he was going to keep a close eye on the situation. Now, you could take that two different ways.
I heard the Eagles are interested. He's going to get picked up.
Okay, we'll see. From the Jerry Jones angle, there's two ways you can look at it. The first way is that Jerry Jones is going to sign Kareem Hunt after there's a video of him kicking his girlfriend on the ground. The second one is that Ezekiel Elliott had to fight off his suspension for so long. And Zeke didn't beat a woman. He just revealed her titties on the top of a roof. And apparently Jerry Jones is pretty pissed about that. But, I think some team, obviously not this year because he already cleared waivers. But I think once this is all taken care of, I think some team will be dumb enough to pick him up.
I could honestly see multiple teams going after him next year, including the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yep. He'll be cheap, and he's in his prime. He's not going to sign any big contract. No one's going to offer him that because he has a history of beating women and apparently anger management problems, which he says he's going to seek help for, but we will see. But I could see a couple teams. I could see the Eagles, the Patriots, the Steelers. Any team basically in the market for a running back next year, taking a chance on this guy.
You really think a team's actually going to pick him up?
Yeah.
I think it might be more than a year, depending on how long he actually has to serve his time.
Yeah, I think it'll depend on what suspension he gets handed down because he still hasn't served any suspension yet. He's just on the exempt list, which means he's not in the NFL technically. Mm-hmm. But once he gets his suspension handed down, he serves that. I'm sure a team will take a chance on him.
Now, for those of you who didn't see the video, pretty much what happened, I would recommend everyone to go and watch it just so you at least know.
World Star.
Yeah, World Star, TMZ, that type of shit. So pretty much it was in a hotel hallway. It was what it looked like. It looked like there was a group of guys and girls. The one girl, Kareem Hunt's girlfriend at the time, was pretty much like kind of yelling at him, kind of went at him, and it looked like his boys kind of restricted him in the hotel room. And what happened was the girl was standing at the doorway. There was a guy in the doorway, and Kareem Hunt essentially, like his friend was a fucking 300-pound linebacker, balled him over into her. She then fell. He then fell. His friend looked like he got fucked up too, because that would have had to have hurt. And then the girl was pretty much sitting on the ground at that point, and Kareem Hunt was kind of standing over her, yelling at her a bit, and then kind of gave her a
couple kicks to the.
A little kick.
No, I wouldn't say it was like.
Oh, I didn't see it that far. I thought he just like pushed her over.
No. Like she was like on the ground, kind of like a standing fetal position, if that makes sense.
It was like that damsel in distress pose, where like the girl's legs are like curled behind her, and she's like still kind of sitting up. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like,
See, I thought she was like on like her like. Either way, she was kind of on like a ball on the floor, but vertically, not laying down on the floor, like vertically. And he kind of came over and gave her a
couple like taps with his foot, like.
I mean, it was a kick. I wouldn't say tap. It was a kick. It was definitely a kick.
All right, it was a kick.
It was a kick.
It was a couple kicks. It was two, I think.
So, it was a kick. Let's not, piece of shit. He kicked her. Okay. So
I'm not defending him.
It sounded like you're defending.
I'm
him.
not. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Light taps.
It's not like a hard kick.
No, I understand what you're saying. It could have been worse.
Yeah, it could have been much worse. I think that he was basically just telling her at that point, like, sit down, bitch, stay down, bitch. That's what I would be saying. Not saying I beat women or ever would, but if I was Kareem Hunt in that moment, and that's what he would be saying.
Yeah, that's all for that.
But he's bad. Don't beat women. Beating women's wrong and illegal, and you'll lose your job.
Fair enough. Well said. All right. Also, recently, what happened this week was Mike McCarthy lost his job at the Green Bay Packers. So Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry, not Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay Packers finally got him fired. So after losing to the Arizona Cardinals at home, 20-17, off of another missed field goal, which would have put it into overtime by their kicker. Mike McCarthy was let go. Everyone's expecting him to get another job at some point, I'm pretty sure.
The land.
Yeah, Cleveland's being referenced because Dorsey hired him or had experience, the GM for the Browns.
Yeah, he used to be a part of the Packers organization, too.
Yeah, so there's connections there.
He's also from Pittsburgh area, so it's close to him.
So fair enough. So there's that. And then I know a couple names that are coming up for... the Packers' job is the Patriots' offensive coordinator.
Josh McDaniels. I've actually heard Jim Harbaugh, possibly.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Just a couple other names I feel like always come up whenever there's a new coaching opportunity. So, Chance, do you think this is a good job to take?
See, this is a tough question because this is basically the same scenario with LeBron James in the NBA. Whatever coach gets put in that position is not going to have full control of the team like any other coach would. Aaron Rodgers is going to have a say at what happens to the offense, what plays being run, and what personnel is on the field. So, I mean, if I'm an offensive-minded coach, I definitely don't want to go to Green Bay. If I'm Green Bay, I'm hiring a defensive-minded coach and letting Aaron Rodgers basically just run the offense. Like most NBA coaches let LeBron James just like do his thing,
Mm-hmm.
That would be my philosophy. But if I'm an NFL coach, I don't want to go to Green Bay. It has a good history, good fan base, good ownership, but the simple fact that you have to deal with Aaron Rodgers for probably 3 to 4 years is just...
And the team's just not built for winning, so no matter who goes there, the team's still bad. It's going to take at least a year or two just to get some players.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you actually, Chance, made a very good reference in that, Aaron Rodgers is kind of like LeBron James. I actually agree with that a lot in the sense that...
LeBron James is like the 4th best player of all time instead of the best?
No, not that. But I mean, even if you want to look at it from a larger perspective, is that if you, I would compare Tom Brady to Michael Jordan, and then I would compare LeBron James to Aaron Rodgers.
I'm not comparing them stat-wise.
No,
I'm just saying in the sense that they're both, big superstars.
Can I please do my analogy?
No, I'm just saying.
Can I, please?
I'm just saying.
So, if you look at both, Tom Brady and Michael Jordan, both are considered the GOATs of their sports, pretty unanimously. And then you have the naysayers that, well, not naysayers, but other people say, LeBron and others are the GOAT. Both of them have had fantastic coaches, some of the all-time coaches, in Phil Jackson and Bill Belichick. There we go. And that pretty much it's just like, like that. Then with LeBron and Aaron Rodgers, like you said, both kind of control the narrative. Both are seen as another version of the GOAT. Both are younger. Both kind of, I don't want to say in this diva-ish phase, but both kind of divas in the fact that you can tell Aaron Rodgers was just over it. No. Aaron Rodgers don't want to play this year.
Oh, yeah.
And you've also seen LeBron in the fact that he does not want to play some games, and he gets kind of pissy with his coaches as well. Aaron Rodgers hated his coach. So, but from the Aaron Rodgers perspective, I think now a lot of pressure is going to be on Aaron and the fact that you're now the highest paid quarterback. You pretty much got your coach fired, which no matter what he says or what anyone says, he pretty much got Mike McCarthy fired.
Oh, 100%.
So, because he came out today and he was like, "Oh, I was so shocked that Mike McCarthy got fired," and blah blah blah. It's like, dude, you knew, you could tell.
You could just tell by watching that Arizona game that Aaron Rodgers basically gave up. Like that last drive where they were driving before the field goal, he was underthrowing receivers. He just wasn't being Aaron Rodgers, and he just looked like he didn't care. He had no reaction when Crosby missed the field goal, and he knew that the coach was getting fired, and he was probably happy by that.
He just knows the season's over. Like, there's nothing to play for. There's no point in getting, like, pissed off anymore. You're a losing team. You're going to lose the rest of the season. Like, there's just no point anymore. So I think he's just done for the year.
So, yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers kind of, like I said, it's just a lot of pressure is going to be on him because now he is expecting that to go win because you got a different head coach because you didn't like your head coach. I mean, you still really can't build a roster around you because of how much money you're making in that fact, and I'm sure they have other contracts and stuff. But so I think a lot of pressure is going on him. I'm sure Mike McCarthy will definitely get another coach. He's a Super Bowl winning coach. There's only a handful of them right now.
Yeah, a handful in the league, I'd say.
So someone's going to pick him up, whether it be the Jets, Cleveland. What other teams are looking for new head coaches?
Baltimore might be looking for a new head coach.
Oh, yeah, which, by the way, Lamar Jackson, man. 3-0 as a starter.
He's gradually gotten worse as a quarterback as the games have gone on.
Listen, I'm just saying, he's tied with all the other rookie quarterbacks in wins and losses. Granted, he does have a way better team than all the other ones. Just saying. Fun fact for you there, Lucas.
This trash fact. Because Lamar Jackson's a trash player. He's not going to last 2 years in the league. You heard it here first.
Are you prepared to eat those words, Lucas?
Fuck yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's turn it over to the Pittsburgh Steelers the San Diego Chargers / LA Chargers at
Stop
Pittsburgh.
saying San Diego, bro.
Dude, that's what they are, okay? So, Lucas, what was your reaction and opinion to that game? It was a close game. The Steelers lost it 33-30 or no?
Yep.
Yeah, 33-30. So, Lucas, why don't you start us off?
With how tight the AFC is in playoff picture, wild card, there's a lot of good teams, and you cannot slip up in this point of the season. And what do the Steelers decide to do?
Slip up.
So they, like you said, they lost 33-30. The Steelers came off fire, red hot first half. I'm like, this is going to be another Carolina game. They're going to blow them out. But that did not happen. The Steelers fell apart throughout the game. It was embarrassing. It was a joke. So everyone's saying the referees lost in that game because there's blown offsides, false starts, block in the back on a punt return, which those are true. That happened. Those really affected the game. But I think the key points that we need to also remember is Boswell missed an extra point. So if he would have hit that point, the Chargers couldn't have won with a field goal. They would have had to score a touchdown. I think, and
I mean, yeah, you would be.
Or somehow.
No.
If Boz would have hit the extra point, the Chargers would have had to go on for two earlier in the game.
Yeah, so it affected the game. Just 1 point.
They still would have won. Super.
No, but before all that,
earlier before that,
the Chargers, instead of it being a 14-point game, it was a 13-point game.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay, continue.
So, like I said, they missed a false start. Chargers score on that drive. They missed a block in the back. Chargers score. Big Ben. He's so frustrating as a fan to watch because he is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but he just plays like pure ass.
Sometimes.
and it's at the worst times. He missed a wide open Justin Hunter for a TD at a crucial time in the game. Like, he was literally wide open.
Actually got him hurt on the play.
Yeah, he's out. He's hurt. He's out.
Why?
He fell on his arm.
Yeah, he fucked up his shoulder on that play.
Because he tried to dive for it because it was so overthrown. He's 20 yards at least radius around this guy, and Ben overthrows him. Ben throws an interception right in the red zone when we're driving.
Wasn't even a pretty interception.
No, he barely threw it. It's like he wanted to pull it back, but it was too late, so he barely put any fucking mustard on it.
He lollipopped it.
He threw a duck.
It was a duck.
Artie Burns, fucking first, Sean Davis takes out Hayden's head. Is Hayden out? I heard he was out.
No, he came back in the game.
He came back in the game. Is he out for the
I
next
thought
game?
he was injured for this
I don't know
week.
if I haven't heard anything.
Well,
I don't know how he's in concussion protocol.
Sean
he got
Davis
speared.
literally ripped Joe Hayden's head off his head. Joe Hayden had the interception in his hand, and Davis took it out because he hit him so hard.
And it was in the end zone.
Fucking
Ended up being a touchdown.
Allen caught it in midair, and the Chargers scored a touchdown.
Which was a good catch. It was a good catch.
It was crazy, but it was just a fluke. It was a piece of shit play. You can't knock Davis too much because he was flying. He didn't see Hayden.
No, you
he
can
was trying to block the
100%
play,
knock him.
but you should have known he was coming right there. You should have known he was going to undercut that ball. Artie Burns comes in the next play on a 2-point conversion, completely blows the cover on 40-year-old Antonio Gates as they score a 2-point conversion. So that was a crucial play in that game.
I didn't know Antonio Gates still played.
Exactly.
I legitimately did not realize that he still played.
He's not even the starter.
He's like literally 90 years old.
Yeah,
and he outran.
He's old as dirt.
I thought he was like one of the best tight ends.
Years ago, he's literally like 40. Like
no, but like even like on like the overall tight end spectrum, like he's not like Tony Gonzalez or
all time he's one of the greats, but not anymore.
Damn,
he's literally like a skeleton, like a bag of bones out on the field. And he burned a fucking 26-year-old cornerback.
Okay, continue, Lucas, with your.
So those are just the key events in that game that were pivotal. They were game changing, and it was just embarrassing. And the fact that we had a linebacker on their number one receiver the entire night, and they didn't change it. How do you know that it isn't working, and how do you not change your strategy?
As Chance shakes his head.
So I'm not a huge fan on ripping on coaching staffs that much because I feel like, especially Tom, I feel like he's a good coach for what he is. We're not going to find much better than him right now. So I try not to blame the coaches too much, but last game just proves that maybe it is the fucking coaches.
It is 100% the coaches.
Okay. So, Chance, before you pop off here, I'll give my little spiel. So, yeah, it was a tough L for Pittsburgh to take. It literally looked like the team switched jerseys at halftime because it was like, I agree with Lucas. It literally looked like it was going to be another Carolina blowout.
Yeah, Rivers was getting so rattled. Like in the first quarter, we were in his head. He was doing terrible. Like they had this game on lock.
They had one rushing yard at the halftime. One fucking rushing yard.
Like we had this fucking game. How do you blow this fucking game? Well, this is a crucial. We might not even make the fucking. We might make the wild card. If the Ravens keep winning, we might lose out. If anything, we're not going to get a bye. We're not going to get home field advantage. No, they lost this game, and it's going to ruin their chances in the playoffs.
We can probably kiss the bye goodbye.
No matter what happens in the playoffs, you can pin it back to this game.
Well, so here's a couple positive ways, I guess, of looking at this game, in the sense of I never want to go in blaming referees, but they did blow two pretty critical calls.
They weren't even close.
Yeah, so the first one where the offensive lineman clearly jumped early. I mean, you could tell it. Everyone could tell it. And then they scored a touchdown on that. I mean, you can just tell it's just a joke at that point. And like, everyone can see it, and Tomlin, I don't even think can challenge it at that point, is he?
The whole stadium
You can't challenge a penalty in the NFL.
So I'm really curious to see if that referee – I mean, I'm pretty sure the NFL –
Nothing happened.
Oh, well, the NFL even came back and said that he blew the call.
Yeah, but nothing happened. No fine, nothing.
Yeah, which is ridiculous because that was such a critical Sunday night game, and everyone could tell. It was so blatantly obvious.
The same thing happened at the beginning of the year at a Browns game, and the referee made the exact same mistake, blew the call, and that referee was fired immediately after that game.
So there's that. And then the block in the back on the punt return.
And it wasn't even like it was in the the rush of players coming back. It's not like the ref couldn't see him. He was literally right next to the dude who caught the ball. The ref was looking at him. I don't.
Now,
sorry, keep going.
On both of those plays, like especially in like the
Yep.
fuck.
Punt return.
No, the first one.
Offsides.
Offsides. Okay, first on the offsides one, the cornerback still got beat on that route.
Yeah, they all entirely stopped playing. That is 100% on Steelers defense.
So like it is not necessarily that like just because that tackle jumped the line, that play still would have probably happened had it not been. Like, I mean, it just so happens that he jumped the line because I mean he had a beat. That route was the DB didn't even like.
Well, that's because he stopped. The DB literally didn't. The whole defense didn't even try to play that play because they thought it was a false start. That's how he was so wide open.
Well, that's but
that's on the defense.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
They should continue to play regardless.
And if you look also, the Chargers are a really good team. You know, you can look at it in that fact that the fact that they came out and still did that. I think it also reflects how good the Chargers are. You can't say the Chargers aren't a good team.
No, I 100% agree, but there's no positives from this game at all.
Oh, no, I'm not saying it's positive. I'm just saying you look at it in a way that it's not necessarily all horrible Steelers.
But it is all horrible
Steelers.
Steelers.
I don't know what you're saying. Like, the Chargers, they are a great team. We lost to a great team, but we had them.
We had a 16-point lead at halftime, getting the ball back to start the second half.
That's the worst.
We managed 3 drives for 35 yards and 0 points.
Oh yeah, no. Believe me, the Steelers screwed themselves. They are not going to the Super Bowl because of this game.
I'm just saying that as a Steelers fan, there is zero positive to get out of this game.
So I'm just looking at it in a broader perspective of maybe just not as like a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, and that you can look at that X, Y, and Z happen, and it's
we
like
had a terrible game and we almost won. So imagine if we played good. Like, imagine if we had a good fucking game.
This is like the 3rd or 4th time we've said this.
Yeah,
this season.
I know it's embarrassing.
And to the point that I'm getting at, you had a 16-point lead against a great team at halftime, getting the ball back. You shouldn't lose. The Steelers were like 100 or like 200 something. 240 0-1 after leading by 2 touchdowns at home, and they lost. They've never done that in the history of their franchise, and they did it.
I'm agreeing with you. It is horrible, especially because now we have to play the Raiders, then we get to come back, have New England come, then we have to go to New Orleans, and then we have to play Cincinnati. So I'm just saying, we completely fucked ourselves this last because we have played 3 bad games in a row. Even whenever we played Jacksonville, it was not a good game. Whenever we played Denver, we barely won at Denver, which I know they were a surging kind of team.
We lost.
That's right. Sorry. We barely won Jacksonville, lost in Denver, and then we just got embarrassed there because of how bad it was. I'm starting to think that actually our run game is just not good at all.
We don't have a run game
because we just don't.
Trying to run.
That's what I don't understand. It's like everyone, like we were talking about how great James Conner is and stuff, and I think he's a good enough running back for what we want to try to do. But it's like whenever you know that we're not even going to try to run it, it's like this is what happens. Because if you look, Ben threw like 40 plus times this game.
Yeah.
He's leading the league in passing yards because they don't even try to run the ball anymore.
I literally think that James Conner's been hurt longer than this past game.
It has to be something.
Like, you don't stop running the ball just in the middle of the season, especially this time of the year. This is like prime football run the ball weather because it's cold, the weather sucks.
Well, do you think maybe...
I literally think that James Conner had a different injury prior to this game, that he couldn't carry the ball as much as he was.
Here's the other thing that you could also think of is that they maybe thought Bell was going to come back.
No, they entirely thought Bell was going to come back.
And so they thought, hey, we can run Connor more because then we're going to get a fresh Bell at halftime, at like halfway through. And then, Bell didn't come back. Let's try to back off more on Connor because we want him healthy going into the playoffs. And then it kind of fucked us over because he has a leg contusion, so he's out for the next game.
He has an ankle sprain. It's no longer a leg contusion. He could miss multiple weeks.
Okay, so he's out for a while. Luckily, we have the Raiders, which who knows if the Steelers are going to play the Raiders
Ben
level
is
or
0-3 against the Raiders in his career.
And the Raiders put up over 30 points against the Chiefs last week.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's a fucking
We have no running backs because the Steelers decided not to sign any running backs.
What about the rookie?
I
thought we had a rookie.
Jalen Samuel, he's not a good. He never ran the ball at college.
Yeah, I think Ridley is not gonna be Connor, but the way they've been running, the way their running game has been set up, I think it's gonna be enough.
They're literally gonna throw the ball 60 times this weekend. There will be 5 rushing attempts.
I think they're gonna be able to handle themselves. They're not gonna be nothing amazing, but I think they're going to do what they have to do.
I don't think we'll have a run game.
It depends on if the Steelers play to Oakland's level or if they play to Steelers level. But they generally have a habit to play down to competition. So, yeah, we could play ourselves out of the playoffs.
They've literally put themselves in the worst possible position. 2 weeks ago, they were the number 2 seed, and now they are the number 4 seed, almost a wild card, almost looking in at the wild card.
And we're only a number 4 seed because the Chargers can't be the 4 seed, in which case we would then be the 5 seed at that point.
Yes.
Because of the way the league is.
Yes.
So I tell you what, I'm going to turn it over to you. Viewers, I suggest pulling up, some popcorn, maybe getting a nice drink. Because Chance is not one to write notes. And people, he has a whole page of notes. So that's how you know he's about to pop off.
I'm so sick of watching the Steelers make the same mistakes over and over again and not make any changes. It is so frustrating. And then it is also so frustrating that you have these fair weather fans that constantly defend the coaching staff and the front office of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin is an overrated coach. The most overrated coach in the NFL. He may have the most wins and the best record behind Bill Belichick since he came into the league and took over the Steelers in 2007. Let's see. His current rank, I'll read you the positive things of Mike Tomlin first.
Please, because I know you have them written down.
So he has a career record right now at 123 wins, 64 losses, and 1 tie, which is second behind Bill Belichick. He was obviously the 2008 Super Bowl champion, and 2011 he made it to the Super Bowl but lost to Green Bay. His playoff record is 8-7, which is very mediocre. All right. So then I went into a little bit of depth here. So let's break down Tomlin's wins.
Deep dive.
Deep dive. So I went back and I was looking at our division, the AFC North, from the time Tomlin took over. And I want to read you guys some stats. So since 2007, the Cleveland Browns have a record of 52 wins, 119 losses, and 1 tie. They have won the division 0 times. The Bengals have a record of 88 wins, 81 losses, and 3 ties, and they've won the division 3 times since 2007. The Ravens are 97 and 75, and they've won the division twice. The Steelers have 6 division titles in that time period. So you can defend Tomlin all you want, but our division has been shit. The Browns have 119 losses since 2007, which is the most in the NFL. The Bengals have been an average team. Their record since 2007 has basically been 500, and the Ravens are about 20 games over 500. So the Steelers basically get 5 to 6 easy wins a year, based on our division, because it's so ass. So that I don't know the exact win total Tomlin has against said teams. Actually, yes, I do. Oh. So Tomlin's career record against the Browns is 23-1. His career record against the Bengals 19-5, and his career record against the Ravens is 14-13. So he has a combined 53, 21-1 of his total 123 wins. 53 are against the division. So that leaves him with about 75-ish wins against every other team in the NFL and about 40 losses. So a plus 30 on the win-loss spread, I don't know. He also has 1 win against the Bengals in the playoffs, 2 wins against the Ravens in the playoffs, and 1 loss to the Ravens in the playoffs. So let's bring up his defensive stats because, Mike Tomlin is a defensive head coach.
He's a defensive head coach.
He's a defensive head coach.
It scares me to look in your eyes right now, Chance.
And when he took over in 2007, he inherited the number 1 defense in the NFL from Bill Cowher. He also had Dick LeBeau, a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator, as his defensive coordinator. He also inherited him, too. So in 2007, the Steelers' defense was number 2 in total points and number 1 in yards allowed. And in 2008, they were number 1 in both of those categories. In 2009, they dipped a little bit. They were 12 in points and 5 in yards. But in 2010 and 11, they both picked up again, and they were the number 1 defense in the NFL. 2012, 13, and 14 is kind of an outlier because the Steelers' defense was pretty old. Polamalu was out of his prime, and the rest of the guys from the championship season in 2008 were basically all old and on the end of their careers. So Will Gay, unfortunately, Will Gay stuck around up until last year. So once Dick LeBeau left in 2015, he was relieved of duty by Tomlin, and Tomlin decided to bring in, promote his linebacker coach, Keith Butler, the defensive coordinator, and he would help Keith Butler run the defense. And since then, the highest rank they've been in the league is 7. Total defense, which was last year before Shazier's injury. Since then, this year, they're average of the pack. They're 16 in total points and 7 in yards allowed, which is an outlier because we're still giving up a shit ton of points. But Tomlin is also a shitty game manager. He cannot manage. He has 70 challenges since 2007. And of those 70 challenges, 38 of them have been upheld, which means they weren't changed. And only 32 have been changed in his favor.
And 38 wasted timeouts.
Not only that, but since January 22nd of 17, which was 3 seasons ago, Mike Tomlin has not won a challenge. He is 0 for 9.
That's not good.
Most NFL coaches have somebody on the field that will tell you when to review a play or something. Like, they have someone whose main job is to watch the replay, every play, and tell you when a good challenge is. Mike Tomlin does it. He refuses to hire someone and says he does it himself. So tell me, ladies and gentlemen, if that screams good coach. Bill Belichick doesn't do this shit. But I wanted to compare old Mike Tomlin to a coach that isn't the GOAT, as Bill Belichick is. So let's compare him to our good friend Mike McCarthy, who just got fired from Green Bay.
Oh, deep cuts.
Mike McCarthy was the Green Bay Packers. He was hired as the Green Bay Packers coach in 2006, so he has one more season more than Tomlin, but they're pretty similar. So Mike McCarthy has a 125 wins, 77 losses, and 2 tie record compared to Tomlin's 123 wins, 64 losses, and 1 tie. Mike McCarthy has also won his division 6 times since he's become the head coach, and he has 1 Super Bowl win. Against who? Mike Tomlin. Imagine these 2 head coaches and their similarities and their paths crossing as much as they have. So Mike Tomlin's playoff record is a measly 8-7, as I stated. Mike McCarthy's a 10-8. That's a better win percentage in my books. I have a simple math background, but I would say that's relatively better by 2 wins, And he has as many Super Bowl wins and division titles. Mike McCarthy just got fired this week. What else do I have here? Oh, yeah. Let me bring out my phone because my piece of paper ran out of space. I had to take some pictures.
There's a backside. Or did you use the backside?
I didn't use the backside.
Damn it.
I never used the backside. I got to find it here. Right now, Pittsburgh is 3rd in the NFL in penalties. We have 90 penalties against us. We are only behind the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, and 1 penalty above the Cleveland Browns. This is very bad for a championship team. Very, very bad. We are undisciplined all across the board. And this has been an occurring event ever since Mike Tomlin took over. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I can. Let's bring up some examples of shitty game management. Let's look back at last year. The New England Patriots are visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers, they're playing an okay game. They got the Patriots right where they want them at the end of the game. They have the lead. Tom Brady has under 2 minutes left. I think he had 1 timeout. What does he do? He throws to Gronk 4 consecutive passes because Gronk was covered by a linebacker. A linebacker on Gronkowski, who is arguably the greatest tight end in NFL history. And Gronk was pretty good last year. He wasn't as hurt as he was this year. Gronk carved us up, drove right down the field, and the Patriots score. And granted, the whole Jesse James caught it play and shit, that
and
lingers.
Big Ben threw an interception
in the end zone. And Big Ben threw an interception in the end zone. That all lingers. But who told Big Ben to throw that pass? Mike Tomlin. And who took the blame? Todd Haley. He got fired in the offseason. Yeah, I don't think the offense has been the problem. The defense is very lackluster. Mike Tomlin cannot make in-game adjustments to save his fucking life. As Lucas said, Keenan Allen was covered by a linebacker 9 times on Sunday night. He had 19 targets with 15 catches for 150 yards and a touchdown. That's horrible. He is their number one wide receiver, and the Chargers were without their number one running back, Melvin Gordon. It was literally the ball was going to Keenan Allen every play.
And you bring in Fort, who's like a third-string linebacker.
LJ Fort was on the practice squad last year. He was literally on the team because Shazier is basically handicapped. Well, not handicapped anymore, but he's paralyzed.
But apparently Fort is their better cover linebacker.
Only because he's faster than Vince Williams and John Bostic.
Well, I'm just saying that's could be his reason why.
He's the best linebacker to put on the job, but he's not the best player to put
on
the
job. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that would be why he would play that linebacker.
You should not have a linebacker on the other team's number one wide receiver. That just screams, throw me the fucking ball and carve my defense's ass up. It makes no sense.
Hot.
Not only that, but the Steelers have had 0 takeaways for probably 8 weeks. But they lead the NFL in sacks, which makes no sense because sacks are supposed to generate turnovers. But no one on the Steelers can seem to create a turnover. But when you almost have a turnover, you have guys running around with their fucking heads down going for the big hit every play, and they drill their own teammates, a.k.a. Sean Davis drilling Joe Hayden in the fucking head, causing a touchdown, which should have been an interception. This has been going on for years. Last year it was with Mike Mitchell. He was a safety. He shouldn't have started because he sucked ass, but Tomlin constantly put him out there because he's one of Tomlin's guys. And Mike Mitchell constantly gave up big plays and went for the big hit. Prime example, the first Jaguars game last year, Mike Mitchell and Leonard Fournette are going at it the whole game. Leonard Fournette breaks off about a 25-yard run. Mike Mitchell gave him a pretty big shot, but Fournette trucked him. Mike Mitchell gets up after giving up that huge-ass play and fucking celebrates because he gave a big hit. Your team is losing, but you got jackasses running around with their fucking heads down, making stupid plays, getting penalties. Artie Burns should have been cut at the beginning of the year. I understand he's a first-round pick. The guy sucks. He is awful. He got burned by 40-year-old Antonio Gates. My fucking grandma could have covered Antonio Gates. Literally. The guy probably runs as fast as my grandma. But he's out there wide open on a critical two-point conversion, let me say. It was probably one of the biggest plays of the game. And everyone who's blaming the refs for this is a fucking idiot because this happens year in and year out. Look at last year's playoffs. The Steelers had a first-round bye. They knew exactly who they were playing because everyone in the world knew the Jaguars are going to beat the Buffalo Bills. They had ample opportunity to prepare for that team. And what do? They fucking come out and the defense blows it and lets Blake Bortles carve you up for 56 points and you lose. The offense kept them in that game, and that's probably what saved Tomlin's skin from getting his ass reamed even more. But it's literally uncalled for. The NFL has changed. It's no longer big hits and shit. It's who can put up the most points and score. The Steelers, they need to make a change. It's literally time. And I know that they're not the franchise to make coaching changes often. They've had 3 head coaches in their entire career franchise history. But the game has changed, and it's time for the Steelers to change, I think. Mike Tomlin just ain't getting it done. He's too player friendly. He doesn't know how to manage the game. He obviously doesn't know how to coach defense because his defense sucks. And that's about my rant. I'm tired of people defending him just solely based on record. You have to look at the big picture. The Steelers have underachieved with Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, and Big Ben Roethlisberger all in their primes for the last 10 years, basically. It's literally uncalled for. I think if not this year, once Ben retires, the Steelers need to go in a different direction.
Lucas, do you have any rebuttals to that or any comments?
Very, very well said. Thank you. I don't have anything else to say.
Yes, Chance. That was
very
beautifully
disappointing to be a Steeler fan.
It's frustrating. It's more frustrating than disappointing because you just assume this shit's going to happen. Tomlin loses the inferior opponents every year. The Steelers, this was the best chance they had at winning a Super Bowl in the last couple years because the Patriots aren't as good as they were. And what do? They lose to the Broncos. They blow a 16-point lead against the fucking Chargers at home in prime time. It's embarrassing. I honestly hope they don't make the playoffs. I do. I hope the Ravens win the division and the Steelers get booted out of the wild card, just so Mike Tomlin gets the heat he deserves.
Yeah, but then Big Ben will probably just retire. Would be my guess
That's
as well.
fine. Big Ben needs to retire at this point.
Yeah, this team needs a change. And
It literally needs a change.
it's not working.
There's no leadership anywhere in the locker room. It's just full of divas and selfish people who just care about their individual stats. And there's no one leading the team. There's so much drama every year with this team. You don't see that anywhere else in the league. Bill Belichick doesn't have any of this fucking drama, and his team is in the Super Bowl every fucking year because of that. Because he is a good coach. Because he has control of his team.
But see, I feel like a couple things here. It's hard to compare Tomlin to
Bill Belichick is the GOAT,
and Brady is the GOAT.
Yeah, but we're not talking about quarter. We're talking about
no. But I mean, even in the fact of like, if you look at Brady's personality and Big Ben's personality, like I feel like no matter what people say, I like Big Ben. He's a great quarterback, but he is a diva as well.
No,
he
completely
feeds into the
understand.
diva thing.
But you have to think that Bill Belichick molded Tom Brady.
No, I agree. But you also got to remember, it's not like Tomlin drafted Big Ben.
I understand that, but he
by the
inherited
time-
Ben 3 years after he was drafted.
But at that point, Ben was also a Super Bowl champion at that point as well.
True, but
So he also that's not the
that's why I compared him to Mike McCarthy. They're similar. Mike McCarthy just got fired, even though he's a Super Bowl winning coach, even though he has a career better record than Tomlin in both playoffs and regular season, and he was still fired.
Now, I'm not disagreeing with you that in the fact that Tomlin should get fired. I'm just saying it is not going to happen.
No,
Because-
I know it's not going to
because
happen.
if you look at, like you said, the Steelers have only ever had 3 coaches.
And that's why the Steelers will never win a Super Bowl until Mike Tomlin is gone.
And like you said, he has the second highest winning record. So it's not like you said, everyone can easily just look at, he has a winning record.
And
how could you
everyone
fire him?
does.
And the other thing you got to look at is the Rooney Rule, which was a Pittsburgh Steeler thing. It's going to look bad if you fire your African American head coach who has the most winning record. Whenever you can say that the Steelers go to the playoffs almost every year.
Yeah, but
which I agree with you in the sense that for Pittsburgh, it's not about are we in the playoffs, do we get wins. It should be about do we win Super Bowls or do we not win Super Bowls.
Exactly.
Which I agree with you 100% because in Pittsburgh you should be held to the same standard that New England is, not of we're winning, we're getting to the playoffs. It should be the same standard that Denver had whenever they had Manning and whenever the Colts had whenever they had Manning, and how Tom Brady is with Bill Belichick and stuff like that. It should be about winning Super Bowls, not about winning in the regular season.
You have a Hall of Fame quarterback. How many teams in the NFL can say they've had a Hall of Fame quarterback?
Maybe like
you
10.
also have an All-Pro wide receiver, and you had an All-Pro running back for the last 5 years. And you've squandered it. You've absolutely squandered it. And for those people defending him, you're basically saying, hey, it's okay to be average. We're fine with just being there, We're like the Browns. We'll celebrate that one win. We don't need playoff wins. We don't need Super Bowls. We're happy just being there. Participation trophies. It's bullshit. The Steelers have the most Super Bowls in the NFL. And in the last 10 years, the Patriots are right behind them because they've won 5.
So, and it's possible that they could tie him this year.
No, it's very possible.
So I agree with you, Chance, in the sense that
No, I
think
agree.
there needs to be some coaching changes, but I
agree
don't
it
think
won't
Pittsburgh's
happen. No,
gonna be.
it won't happen. It just won't, but it needs to. And until it does, the Steelers won't do anything.
And I think the other comparison with Aaron Rodgers and Big Ben, Aaron Rodgers, you could physically tell, I do not want to have Mike McCarthy as my head coach. For Big Ben, it was more about the offense in Todd Haley, which he did get Todd Haley fired.
No, I know that.
So I think it's one of those things where I think if Big Ben, maybe not right now because Big Ben's kind of on the way out.
Big Ben doesn't care. He doesn't. He literally doesn't care at this point.
I just think he wants to make his 5,000 yards, get into the playoff, and then
I
he'll
literally
lose.
think right now he's padding his stats for the Hall of Fame. That is why he came back. He's not going to win a Super Bowl. He knows it. His best chance to win a Super Bowl was 2 years ago when the Steelers lost to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. That was the best team they've had in years, and they fucking blew it in that game too. I just don't know. Steelers fans just need to stop supporting Mike Tomlin. Everyone needs to stop supporting this guy. He has the same record, same stats as Mike McCarthy, who just got fired. 1 Super Bowl. That's all I gotta say.
Beautifully done.
Thank you.
Beautifully done. I don't know where to go from there, so I'm gonna leave that as the last word on that, and we're gonna go into talking about a little bit happier topic of some NFL Week 14 predictions here, Chance.
Week 14.
I hope you bring that same fire to your picks because
I am.
We're gonna go right to you with the Thursday night game. It's an absolute beast of a game. Jacksonville Jaguars at the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, fuck, dude. that just rings. That's just like a kick to the balls, man.
Coming off this huge 6-point game against the Colts.
I don't even know who the quarterback in Jacksonville is going to be because fucking I can't remember the other guy's name. He used to be the Browns quarterback. He started last week over Blake Bortles, and I still think they lost. So I don't know. I'm going with Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans.
No, Jacksonville won 6-0 against Buffalo. No, not against Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 6-0. 3 fucking field goals. I'm going with the Tennessee Titans.
Lucas?
Yeah, the Titans played a good game against the Jets last week. I mean, it's the Titans and the Jets, but Mariota had a decent game. And like I said, how do you put up fucking 6 points?
Yeah, I'm very surprised that Andrew Luck only put up. Didn't even put up any points.
33 completions, 248 yards.
It wasn't good
no
for what
touchdowns.
he's been doing.
Yeah.
And granted, the Jacksonville defense finally did show up.
Cody Kessler's Jackson.
Cody Kessler, that's his name.
All right.
It's just insane.
So you're going to go Tennessee then, Lucas?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm also going to go Tennessee. I still don't trust Jacksonville. Tennessee's fighting for that wild card spot, so I think they're going to try to hold on to it. Plus, they're at home. The next game, another absolute fucking dogfight. It's another division game. The New York Jets at the Buffalo Bills. Chance, which one are you taking?
I'm going with the Buffalo Bills for 2 reasons. One, they just cut their lazy-ass wide receiver, Kelvin Benjamin, who weighs about 300 pounds, and he should have been cut weeks ago. And 2, Josh Allen is going to be pissed that he underthrew fucking Charles Clay, their tight end, on the last play of the game in Miami this week to lose. He had a wide-open touchdown, and he fucking underthrew the ball, so I feel like he's going to come out balling. I'm going to go with the Bills.
Lucas?
I'm going to go with the Jets. I'm a Sam Darnold guy.
He's not even playing.
Really?
He hasn't played in weeks.
I thought he was coming back soon.
I thought he played last week. Did he not?
No, Josh McCown's played. They don't want to rush his injury because they don't want him to
I would just sit him the rest of the season.
Well, like I said, I think it was a few pods ago, the Bills either lose by 40 or they win by 40.
So
I think
are they
if Sam Darnold's not playing, I'm going to go with.
I don't think he's playing.
I'm going to go with the Bills because I think they're going to have a 40-point game because the Jets aren't playing good football at all.
Yeah, Buffalo still has really good defense, and the Jets, I think, are trying to go for that one pick. Bills kind of switched up their thing halfway through the season. They're like, hey, we won more than one game, so maybe we can win a couple more. So, yeah, Buffalo's going to further fuck themselves and win this game. Another divisional game. Lucas, starting with you. The New York Giants at Washington.
My boys. All right, last week the Giants had an incredible overtime victory against the Bears, even though the Giants were winning and they blew a lead. But they came back, tied it up, and they won it in OT on a field goal. So they're red hot, 4-8. So, I mean, they're a wagon. And then you got the Redskins, which they're probably up there with the new laughingstock of the league, I would say.
The butt redemption, though, Lucas.
That's
the
true.
butt
Mark
redemption.
Sanchez, you may know him as the butt fumble, had the butt redemption fumble recovery. He had a god-awful game. I'm pretty sure he's going to play again, right?
He is. He's been named starting quarterback.
Yeah, so I'm going with my boys.
Listen, I'm pretty sure at this point, if you're a Washington Redskins quarterback, your leg is going to get snapped.
Yeah, if you're a Washington Redskins quarterback or plan on being in the future, make sure you drink lots of fucking milk before the game because, by God, dude, there's something in the air there. Your fucking quarterbacks are snapping legs like crazy.
Or it's Michael Bennett diving on your leg whenever you're already on the ground.
Is that what happened to the other guy?
Yeah.
He fucked him up. Like, blatantly obvious dirt.
Did Bennett not get, like, any sort of...
No.
Okay, also, did you guys see Odell's attempt at at the onside kick? Did you see that?
Oh, dude, that was piss poor. I was actually hoping they'd lose because of that.
He literally, like, you could tell he didn't want to take the hit from the... Because pretty much what happened was there was, like, a third-string, 260-pound, like, tight end or something who was just trying to pretty much... He was either going to get the ball or fuck Odell up. It was one of the two options. And Odell made a business decision where, like, he, like, went down for it and then, like, went up and then went back down for it.
He tried swatting it like out of bounds, like through the guy's leg instead of like catching it and taking the hit.
So the Bears, it was the Bears, right?
Yeah, the Bears recovered it.
And they went down and scored a touchdown, which tied up the game. And then Odell afterwards was like, "Yeah, you guys can't question my heart in this game or my willingness." And it was like all the reporters were like, "Odell, we just saw what the fuck you just tried to do, and you do not care."
It was almost as bad as Cam Newton in the one Super Bowl, like not recovering his fumble.
Except he like looked at it and was like, "Nah."
Yeah, it was like the same thing. But I'm gonna go with the Giants in this game. Mark Sanchez ain't fucking winning, and the Redskins are down to like their third string offensive line because they lost like 2 more guys this week.
And Saquon's playing fucking like crazy.
Oh, Saquon's
125 yards last week. Just wild.
Saquon's fantastic. He's a top 5 running back. Right now.
I wish the Steelers would have got Saquon. Literally just fucking.
All right, so I'm also gonna go Giants. The next game is gonna be the Saints at Buccaneers.
Yeah, so the Saints are out for revenge after their Week 1 loss, loss to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And they're coming off a loss to the
and they're coming up a loss from the Cowboys. I feel like the Saints will come out, and they're going to punch Tampa Bay right in the mouth. Jameis Winston will be benched by halftime. The Beard will come back in, and he'll make a game of it in the second half, I think, but the Saints still win.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Saints. Saints are still one of the best teams in the NFL, and Tampa Bay is not one of the best teams.
Last week's loss, I think it was a fluke. I mean, you knew they're not going to win. They're not going to keep. I mean, a 10-game win streak is pretty fucking impressive. To win more than that, you're just getting to ridiculous territory.
That being said, the Dallas did look really good that game.
They want to get in the playoffs, and I think they're going to do it. But the Saints it was just a bad game. Everything that needed to go wrong for the Saints just went wrong. Everything that needed to go right for the Cowboys went right. It was just a fluke game. Saints are going to come back for redemption, like you said, against Jameis Winston, Uber beater.
All right, next
Uber
game.
groper, Lucas. He didn't beat her, he groped her.
Yeah, come on, get it right. This ain't no Kareem Hunt situation. All right, next one. Oh,
this is more like an Ezekiel Elliott situation.
This is another tough AFC East division game. The Patriots down in Miami.
Patriots. Nothing else needs to be said.
But you didn't let me finish.
Patriots lose to the Dolphins, I seem like.
Oh, no, this is like, for some reason, I think this is like Tom Brady's worst record is for some reason in Miami.
I still think the Patriots are going to win.
Lucas, are you going to go Patriots?
I think Gronkowski's injured.
Like that changes anything. He's always injured.
Injury report.
I tell you what, I'm going to go a little bit wild here, and I'm going to say Miami. I think Tom Brady, he's going to wear his mink coat down there. He's going to be too hot. And he just got his 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah, did you see his promotional video?
Oh, yeah, we forgot to bring that up.
Facebook videos are so cringe.
He went on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and he was like, well, the only reason why I played football was to get these 1,000 yards and buy nice cars. And
what did he do, like hop in his Maserati?
Yeah, he hopped in his like Rolls Royce or something.
Phone's like 2 inches from his face. Looks like a dad trying to take a selfie.
He's like, nah, going back to work. And it's like, shut the fuck up,
dude.
Tom.
How awesome would it be for Tom Brady to be your fucking dad?
Oh my
God, that'd be sick.
He kisses you on the lips.
Dude, shut the fuck up about that.
I'd let him kiss me on the lips right now.
Right. If Tom Brady was like, "Hey, let me kiss you on the lips," I'm like, "All right, bro. All right, bro."
Yeah,
you know, the other thing, which I don't know if you guys saw or heard about this, on the victory formation kneel for that, Tom Brady purposely walked to the line of scrimmage, then took his knee. He didn't take, like, you know how normally whenever you take your knee, you're back like 2 yards?
He didn't want to lose the 2 yards.
He didn't want to lose the 2 yards, so he took 3 steps up, made his offensive line push them back, and took a knee. And then as he stood up, he pointed at the referee and said, I'm on the line of scrimmage.
I wonder if he's going to do that the rest of his career, because he's going to be, like, borderline 1,000 yards. Like, for
no, my guess is what will happen is, like, he'll rip off, like, another, like... but I bet you he'll be conscious of it. I think he won't like necessarily do it, but he'll definitely be conscious of it.
Because he's probably only like 1 or 2 yards above 1,000 right now.
Yeah, he'll definitely try to like.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Lucas, my man.
This is gonna be one of those fucking upsets. There's always an upset. This is gonna be it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the Patriots have a bad record against the Dolphins. So
it's because
you never know.
It's because he got his 1,000 yards rushing. He doesn't need anything else.
They're gonna play down to this team because they're on a heater. They think they got the AFC on lock, but
we're talking about Bill Belichick here, not Mike Tomlin. They're not gonna play down to their.
What am I kidding?
All right, Baltimore at Kansas City.
It's a huge AFC game.
I'm actually really looking forward to this game because the Baltimore defense is number 1 in the league, and this will actually prove whether or not they're legit or the Chiefs' offense is legit, because the Chiefs' offense hasn't really played a decent defense. Last week, the Chiefs, they balled out without Kareem Hunt. Travis Kelce had a day, dude. He had a fucking day. I don't know. It'll be a close game. I think the Chiefs win. Lamar Jackson isn't going to do shit. But Joe Flacco is also back this week, so I think they said they're going to split 50-50 quarterback.
If Joe Flacco plays any snaps, they're losing. Why would you switch? Like, Lamar Jackson's won you 3 games in a row.
Because the reason why they're switching is because they're the wild card right now, or they're in the wild card. So you'd rather lose with your veteran quarterback and then have him be gone than lose with your rookie quarterback and then all the fans say, what the fuck, Joe Flacco took us to a Super Bowl.
Breaking news. I don't know if this is new or not.
I'm picking the Chiefs.
Trade for the Penguins. Was the Senators trade earlier?
Yeah.
It was earlier?
This is the AHL show.
Oh, fuck. Never mind. I just got the notification now.
Fuck.
My bad.
I'm excited.
My bad.
Damn it, Chance.
Right.
Fucking ESPN.
Right, I'm also gonna go Kansas City.
They don't report hockey.
You're right.
All right, next one is the Colts at Texans. I'm going with red hot Houston.
Texans.
Yeah, this is pretty much this. I mean, the Houston Texans win the division, but if the Colts lose this game, they're not making the playoffs. They're going to be coming out swinging, but I still think Houston wins.
Yeah, Colts got embarrassed last week, 0 points. Texans are they're insane. They're such a good team.
Good offense, good defense.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're fun to watch. I'm picking Texans.
Now, here's the other thing. Lucas, you just brought up how it's rare for a team to rally off 10 in a row, let alone.
Yeah.
So if this would be...
I know what I said.
Well, no, I'm just saying this would be Houston's 10th game in a row. And like Chance said, if the Colts lose this game, they're out of the playoff.
Yeah, the Colts are going to come for them. Like, they need to win this game. They got embarrassed last week. Like I said, it's going to be a close game, but I think Texans, they're not going to slip.
I tell you what, I'm switching my pick. I'm going Colts. I trust.
It's a good pick. I mean, it's going to be close.
I trust Andrew Luck.
They're due for a loss, like I said. Winning 10's insane.
Yeah, I'm kind of now. The more I think about it, it's just the situation.
Oh yeah,
because like you said,
Colts
Houston has their division locked up.
Yeah, the Colts need to win out, so they're going to be coming for the rest of the season.
So I'm going to go with Colts actually on this one. Next game is Atlanta at Green Bay.
Atlanta's trash. Green Bay
trash.
Yeah, this is the game of who can lose the fucking quickest. Intern head coach for Green Bay, Joe Philbin, awful head coach, sucked ass in Miami. Probably can't do anything in Green Bay. I don't know. I'm curious to see what Aaron Rodgers does in this game. I wonder if he actually balls out because he'll have like full control over whatever happens offensively. So I mean, people pay attention to this game because this will be an outlier of what Aaron Rodgers looks like next year, basically.
Interesting fact: the Falcons are 3-0 since their coach took over against the Packers. 2 of the 3 are blowouts.
Is it in Atlanta?
No, it's in Green Bay.
In Green Bay. I'm going Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Green Bay. Cold weather, man.
Green Bay is favored. I'm going to pick Green Bay.
All right, next game is Carolina Panthers at Cleveland Browns.
What the fuck happened to the Panthers, man?
Fuck.
That's insane.
Yeah, literally, they've ultimately collapsed. I can't even explain it. Cam Newton had an awful game last week. He threw 4 picks. I don't know why they just don't give the ball to Christian McCaffrey every play because that guy is fucking nuts. But I'm going the upset. If you can call it an upset, I'm going with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, technically they're upset because the Panthers have a better record, but it's not by much. Baker had a really bad game last week. Let me see.
Did you guys see?
3 interceptions, but he almost had 400 passing yards.
Yeah, but it's easy to throw it. He got I think 300 plus of that in the second half whenever it was like a 20-point game already.
Yeah, Callaway had 3 catches for 84 yards.
You
Landry
see Callaway drop the ball at the 1-yard line?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
He Baker Mayfield threw like a 10-yard slant, and Callaway took it like 75 yards and fumbled at the 1-yard line, and the Texans recovered.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Did he drop it because he was celebrating too early?
Yeah, he dropped it.
Did you also see? Did you also see how afterwards J.J. Watt was like, "Yeah, I guess Baker didn't wake up feeling dangerous today." Dude, that was great.
But yeah, I'm going to pick the Browns. The Panthers have lost 6 in a row or something ridiculous. Baker, bro. at the Land. The dog pound's gonna be
Oh,
barking.
it's gonna be cold and snowy there, man. I hope it's a snowy
Cats
game.
don't like
I love
cold.
watching snowy games on TV. They're the best.
It looks cool, yeah.
See, I'm going to go Carolina on this. I just don't trust the Browns enough. I do not trust them enough. So I'm going to go Carolina, whether that backfires on me or not. Just
Hey, that's all right.
because the Carolina's still in the playoff hunt, correct?
No.
Or they're out? They're completely out
Well,
of it.
they're like, I guess that you could say they're in the hunt, but they're completely
They're
out of
not
playoffs
going
right
to.
now.
Well, I don't know. I can't see them almost losing out the entire way through the season.
I could.
Yeah, me too.
They still have to play the Saints twice.
Well, I'm not saying that they're going to win and beat the Saints twice. I'm just saying that
yeah.
I don't see them losing out the whole way. So I'm going to go Carolina. Then at the 4:25 game or 4:05 game slots, we got the Cincinnati Bengals at the San Diego / Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, this isn't even going to be a
Bloodbath.
game. No Andy Dalton, no A.J. Green. This is the game that Marvin Lewis is going to get fired after.
You think?
No, they'll fire him after the season because
that's what you just
they
gotta
love
wait.
him. But this will be the game that ultimately decides that. I'm going Chargers.
Lucas?
Yeah, the Bengals are so bad.
All right.
The Chargers are, like we've been talking about, they're a great team. They're sniffing that top spot in the AFC at LA. So I'm going to pick the Bolts.
Exactly. They're going to beat their ass all the way back to San Diego. You know what I mean? I'm also going to go San Diego in this one. If you think about it, San Diego actually has a possibility to beat the Chiefs in their division.
Oh, easily.
Because I think, do they still have to play the Chiefs again?
Who, San Diego?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one more
And-
game left. If the Chargers beat the Chiefs, they win the division. If they win
And-
out and beat the Chiefs.
And you also got to remember, the Chiefs still have to play Baltimore, which Baltimore, like you said, could be a very legit team with that defense.
I think the Chargers are going to win the division.
So it is very possible.
I honestly
that
think the Chargers are going to get the number one seed in the AFC.
So it is possible. So this is a very, very. I mean, this game not necessarily, but that Baltimore Kansas City game is a very important game.
Oh,
for
yeah.
the
Definitely.
shape of the AFC
Definitely.
pretty much. Because
Yeah.
could you imagine?
If Baltimore wins, like upsets Kansas City, they're making the playoff. Baltimore is, and Kansas City, it puts them in a hole.
Who would you rather see? Would you rather see the Chargers or the Chiefs?
I would rather see the Chargers, mainly because if the Chargers are the number one seed, they have home field advantage. Their fans don't show up. There would be more Steeler fans than Chargers fans in the stadium.
See, looking at it from the perspective is that I'm assuming that the Steelers are going to hold on to their spot. So like the fourth seed, fourth or
Yeah.
third, because either them or the Texans probably. So it'd be playing at Pittsburgh. I think I'd rather see the Chiefs at Pittsburgh, just because you got the Chiefs' offense or defense is so horrible
That's true.
that I would rather be a shootout in Pittsburgh than facing the Chargers' defense and stuff. And plus, the Chargers just went to Pittsburgh and played and saw like, oh shit, these Steelers ain't nothing. And I mean, the Chiefs
did the
also,
same
but it
thing.
was at the very beginning of the season.
I think
where-
the Chiefs' offense is better than it was at the beginning of the season.
I think our defense is.
See, I think Kansas City has such a good offense. Like, it's obviously Kansas City's offense is better than the Chargers' offense, but the Chargers' defense is so much better than the
But I feel
Kansas
like
City's.
I literally feel like the Steelers had the Chargers defense shut down until the second half. And like if they take Keenan Allen and if they put Joe Hayden on him, for God's sakes, he's the number one corner. That's an entirely different game. But Mike Tomlin won't do that. And the same thing would happen with the Chiefs. I think Travis Kelce would carve them up like Gronk usually does. And either way, I think the Steelers are going to lose. They're not winning.
All right, next game. Sorry, just wanted to go in that
Yes.
little thought game right there. We got the the Denver Broncos at San Francisco.
Yeah, so Denver just lost Emmanuel Sanders like 3 hours ago to an Achilles tear. He's done for the year. Breaking news.
Damn,
But
that's huge.
Breaking news 3 days.
who are they
late.
playing? The Lions?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. I still think Denver wins.
Yeah, no, I'm picking Denver. on
Nick
this one.
Mullins threw for 400 fucking yards last week. So
Did he take a W or an L?
they lost.
I'm thinking about picking him up on fantasy and starting him over Tom Brady because Tom Brady hasn't been doing too much for me. I got
Seahawks had a
playoffs.
good game last week against the 49ers. Russell Wilson had 4 touchdowns. Yeah, losing Sanders, that's huge for them. Case Keenum, I mean, Sanders obviously makes him better. So we'll see. I'm gonna pick the 49ers. I think the Broncos win streak's gonna end.
I think they're surging. I'm going the Broncos. They need to push for the playoffs. They're in the same position as the Colts, with the Colts riding their ass.
Did they play each other at any time?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm also going to go Denver on this one. I don't trust San Francisco. Next one is Detroit at Arizona. The red-hot Arizona Cardinals.
The game of the week.
It's either this or Jacksonville at Tennessee, one of the two of them. Which one are you going with, Chance?
Fuck, I don't know. Detroit's defense has showed up the last couple weeks. Matt Stafford sucks. Their offense is bad. I'm going with the Cardinals. I think they're going to break off 2 wins in a row.
Lucas?
I want to say the Cardinals too, but why would they keep trying to win? Like, you were the
Their
worst
head coach is
team.
trying to save his job.
You were the worst team in the league for 9 weeks, and all of a sudden you're trying to play football.
But like, at this point, don't you know your job's kind of fucked?
Yeah, but it's his first year and he's trying to save it
I feel
already.
like he can talk to managers like, yo, I'm going to throw the rest of this year so we can get a good pick.
So you're going to go with
I'm going to
Detroit?
go. No, they're at Arizona. I'm going to go with Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald's going to have a big game.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, I'm going to go Detroit on this one. Just because.
Because he's an Eminem fan.
Yeah. That's it. All right. This one actually is a good, important game. Kind of good. It's Philadelphia at Dallas. This is pretty much not for the division necessarily, but
The winner of this game will win the division, in my opinion. But Philadelphia looks like trash. I mean, they barely beat the Redskins.
but do you trust Dallas to not fuck it up?
Exactly. I think Dallas is going to win the division, and they're going to choke so hard in the playoffs.
So you're going to pick Dallas for this game?
Yeah, I think Dallas wins.
Yeah, I'm a huge Philly disbeliever. They're not playing good football. Carson Wentz, like, he's trying. He wants to do good, but
It just
picking the
when you
boys.
don't have a run game, it's so hard for.
yeah, and the Cowboys are just on such a heater. Like, they're playing for like the team just playing well. The city, they're into it.
It's that Amari Cooper, bro. The
what it is,
Amari
bro.
Cooper factor.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Dallas on this one. But this is the game. If there's ever a game Dallas would just absolutely screw up, this is the game.
Oh, it'll be
I hope
funny
they
as
do.
fuck if it happens.
Because like it'd be one of those things where I just hope so, because I just want to go and I just want to hear Skip Bayless just fuck Skip Bayless.
I want to
That's all
hear
gotta say.
Stephen A. Smith just fucking.
Oh, dude.
Just wreck the Cowboys.
Whenever they were in Dallas last time and he had that cowboy hat and
Oh,
stuff, dude.
dude.
Oh, wild.
Wild.
All right, Pittsburgh at Oakland. Chance, is this the trap game of the week?
This is the trap game of the week, and you know what? I'm going with the Oakland Raiders.
You're picking the Oakland
I am
Raiders.
picking.
The train has
I am picking the
derailed.
Oakland Raiders.
What?
I have lost all confidence in the Steelers. They have no running backs. They will have no run game. The Raiders just went toe for toe with the Chiefs passing game. Derek Carr and fucking Jared Cook lit up the Chiefs defense. The Steelers cannot cover tight ends. Jared Cook is going to have over 200 receiving yards, and the fucking Oakland Raiders are going to upset the Pittsburgh Steelers and crush their playoff dreams.
I am going with the Lurs. No, I understand that everything you said is probably going to happen, but I am hopeful on this one.
Big Ben will throw 3 shitty interceptions.
Oh, no doubt.
Well, that's like any game. He'll
No,
do
but
that.
these will be bad, and he'll force the ball to AP, and they
Yeah,
will be bad.
It's going to be a bad game, but I think the Steelers they're going to bounce back. They need this win. I think
They need it. That's
hopefully
why
they
they're going to
realize Ben has a really bad record in Oakland.
0-3.
It's just insane. But I just got to go with the Lurs. I want them to win so bad, but it's going to be a trap game. Like, they're going to lose this game.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Lurs on this one. I think this is going to be one of those. It's either going to be a blowout or it's going to be a close game.
I think it's going to be like the Jacksonville game. It's going to be like
Where-
a low-scoring, like, shitty
It's
game.
going to come down to a Boswell field goal, and he's going to miss it.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
It's going to be some dumb shit. Which, back to the Pittsburgh Chargers game. Do you realize if they didn't go offsides on that last kick?
Yeah.
They would have gone to
They
overtime.
didn't. They weren't even offsides.
That was a terrible call.
Oh, I saw something where like the snapper
The
like
center moved the ball, which is illegal, and he like caused them to jump offsides.
Bad call on that. But then they kept jumping on offsides because they knew he was going to make it
I would have
anyway.
kept doing that. I would have been a dick and drilled my took my knee or my helmet and drilled it right into the kicker's knee.
Yeah.
That's honestly what I would have done.
You know that he's going to make it. Was like a 35-yard field goal after the first penalty. You know he's going to make it. You might as well try to jump the count. Maybe you'll get a lucky.
Just fuck up the kicker, man.
Yeah.
I know a couple of my best friends are kickers, but just fuck them up, man. Just fucking put them out, dude. You're already burned. It's like you don't even get playing time. You got burnt by 40-year-old Gates. Like, at least Steelers fans would appreciate you if you'd fuck up their kicker.
I just want a chance to get triggered again. All right, we're going to
Can't get triggered if you pick against the Steelers.
the Rams at Chicago.
This is another good game.
Offense versus defense, pretty much, is what this is.
This all comes down to whether or not Mitch Trubisky plays, and he still hasn't been named like the starter again yet. I'm going to go with the Rams. But I think the Bears defense will make a game of it.
Bears coach Matt Nagy believes strongly that Mitch Trubisky is going to play against the Ravens.
He hasn't thrown yet, though, this week.
If Trubisky plays, it's going to be a really close game. I'm going to pick the Bears, actually. I think it's time for the Rams to lose some games.
I hope so.
They had a rough time against Detroit last week. I'm going to pick the Bears. Why not?
Is it in Chicago?
It's in Chicago.
Oh, that's wonderful.
In the Windy City.
That's wonderful.
So you also pick Chicago chance?
No, I'm going with the Rams. But Jared Goff was getting fucked up. He got hurt last week, so maybe Khalil Mack will put him out of his misery.
Who knows? I'm also going to go Rams. I feel like Rams are just a better team. And if Trubisky was in, it'd be a little bit different, but I don't know. I still don't trust. The Bears defense is better than the Rams defense, but it's such a bigger gap between the Rams offense and the Bears offense by far. So.
But this is a potential playoff game, so.
This is also one of those games where it shows, is defense worth anything in this league at all, or is it just all about offense?
It's crazy how many pivotal games there's been. Like how crazy the schedule's set up to where it just happens to be all these crucial games all the time. It's cool.
Football,
that was
baby.
what the NFL tried to do this year. They tried to pack the back end of the schedule with meaningful games, so people didn't take weeks off.
All right, the Monday night game, the Minnesota Vikings at Seattle, baby.
This is a really good game, too. These are two teams fighting for the playoff spot.
Mm-hmm. We all know who I'm going with.
Oh, we all know who you're going with.
Russell Wilson, baby.
And I think I'm gonna jump on that bandwagon. I'm also gonna take Russell Wilson.
You're going Russell Wilson and them Seahawks, baby.
They've been running the ball really well, and Russell Wilson has been lighting it up. I think he's averaging 3 touchdowns a week too.
Yeah, 4 last week. Yeah.
Been sitting on my fantasy bench. He had 40 points on my bench last week, and I lost because I started Andrew Luck, who had 9.
That's what you get.
He had fucking 4 touchdowns on 11 passes.
Dude, that stat line at halftime was what? 4 and 6.
Oh, dude, it was outrageous.
It was 4 and 6, 3 touchdowns, 200 and some yards. It was all he threw was deep bombs. It
was so shitty because I was playing against both of the wide receivers, and they had one catch for 75 yards and a touchdown. They had fucking 19 points. I was like, what the fuck? I was just so pissed. But
I'm picking Seattle.
Yeah, I'm also going
Seattle across the board, baby.
We're going the 12th man.
I also love how Seattle does the thing where they run an extra, instead of a tight end, they run an extra lineman just to further help their running. That's how
they're running great.
That's what I'm saying. That's how you know they don't give a fuck about throwing it. They're just gonna run it down your throat.
That's all,
and you can't stop them.
And then once you try to stop the run, Russell Wilson is deke 75-yard touchdown.
Because Russell Wilson's a top 10 quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, top 10.
I'll definitely top 10.
Well, I'm trying to think if it was top 10, top 7, or top 5.
I'd probably put him top 7.
I'm trying to think.
Maybe 6. I'd probably put him 6.
I'd have to actually think about this list, but yeah, definitely top 7, I'd say. All right, so that rounds it out with the huge Seattle Seahawks game. Definitely a bunch of good games, like Lucas said. Sunday will be a good time. But Lucas, let's hear about your sport of choice. A little bit of some NHL hockey news.
The greatest sport of all time, arguably. I'm correct, not even argue. All right, so in going on the NHL, big news: Seattle now has a hockey team. Or they will have a hockey team in 21-22 season. It's pretty cool for the sport. They need more teams out west. Seattle seems very interested in that, so I hope that goes well. It's going to be interesting to see how the draft works. It's going to be the same expansion draft like Vegas had. I wonder how the players are going to move around. It's going to be interesting to see how the teams shape up in a few years. They're going to move Arizona to the Central Division. Arizona's fucked because Central Division is so tough compared to the Pacific, where Seattle's going.
Seattle's going to the NHL Cup, I think. Is that pretty much ready
NHL Cup? All right, you're not allowed to talk anymore.
Lucas, I still got to talk about my...
Let me finish. So with the Penguins, we had a trade A few days ago, we got Marcus Pettersson of the Anaheim Ducks in exchange for Daniel Sprong of the Pittsburgh Penguins. A very low-caliber player trade. Daniel Sprong, I think he's one of the most overrated players that Pittsburgh has ever seen. He was a 2015 draft pick, pretty high, second round, not even that high, honestly. But he hasn't done anything for the Steelers. He has so much potential. It's all you hear is about how much potential he has. Doesn't do anything with the team.
I'm surprised he didn't. I figured he would have done a lot for the Steelers.
He's supposed to be. Did I say Steelers?
He said Steelers.
Well, now I'm
It's
just
all right.
pissed off with the Steelers.
It's all right.
At least it's not San Diego.
Yes, true. So
Pittsburgh moved to San Diego, maybe, but
Marcus Pettersson, he's 22 years old, nothing special. He's big dude, tall guy. That's about it. He looked maybe average, less than average last night against Colorado Avalanche. Speaking of that game, amazing game, fun to watch. It was a rematch of 6 days ago. As of recording, we faced Colorado at Colorado. Colorado went up 3-0. Sidney Crosby carried the team on his back. They came back to tie it 3-3, and then they just shut down and they lost 6-3 at Colorado. So fast forward to Tuesday, December 4th, they faced Colorado at Pittsburgh. Marcus Pettersson's first game. Casey DeSmith starting net. Colorado goes up 3 goals. No, Pittsburgh goes up 3 goals right away. You're like, this is it. They scored fucking. It was like minutes apart too. It was awesome.
I remember getting a Snapchat from you telling me how it wrecked
like
you.
Watch the fucking game, bro. You were like, I forgot it was on.
I did. I didn't even know it was 7 o'clock.
I got that same thing, but it was like at 3 o'clock in the morning. So
Well, there were some sick goals. Chris Letang looked good. He had an amazing pass, and then right out the gate, second period, Colorado comes back, ties it up 3-3. Very similar to last week. But then, who would have guessed my favorite player on the team, Patrick Hornquist, scored 3 goals in 2 minutes. It's a Pittsburgh Penguin franchise record. You know who's better? Who that's better than? Mario Lemieux. Is he a better player? I mean, it's just facts. They're just stats. Better than Sidney Crosby. I mean, just stats. So that put him up 6-3. Awesome game. Huge win against one of the best teams in the league. We got the Islanders and the Senators coming up. Both are surprisingly doing well this year. It's going to be a very crucial win. I know we're still in December. Well, that excuse is starting to go away, saying it's still early because we're about 35 games into the year. We're going to start stringing some wins together. I think it's going to start right now. We're playing good hockey.
So, Lucas, I just want to take you back to the last podcast. Whenever we were discussing Murray versus Fleury. I saw on Facebook the other day that you liked and or shared a post that put Marc-Andre Fleury and he got some sort of like player of the month or something like that.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I never said Fleury wasn't a good goalie. You motherfucker, stop twisting my words, all right? Okay? And the reason I shared that picture, because it was 3 stars of the month. It was Patrick Laine, who scored fucking he had a 5-goal night one night. He had 16 goals in 9 games or something ridiculous. Nathan McKinnon, number 2 points in the league, behind his line mate Mikko Rantanen, both on Colorado, leading the league in scoring, and we beat Colorado last night. So, and Marc-Andre Fleury. Those 3 were the 3 stars. I shared it because they're all number 29. I thought it was cool that they're all number 29. Okay? That's why I shared it. If you would read it, you would have saw that. Okay.
Edge Fleury.
I'm just saying,
that's all
Edge
I'm saying,
Fleury.
Lucas.
Okay.
All I'm saying, Edge Fleury. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Where
So
was
that's all. So No. It's over. That's over.
Tyler,
You went to NHLM recently,
why don't
right?
you tell us about that?
I went to my first ever professional hockey game.
Which is sad. You live in the greatest hockey town in the country. Keep going. I'm sorry. I'm just pissed off now you brought up Fleury.
That's like Donald Trump. Like when Donald Trump always says like a word and it's like an exclamation point in all caps, like sad. Like that's what I got from Lucas there. Like you got the Donald Trump vibe going.
Okay.
Sad.
All right then. So yeah, on last Saturday, I got to watch the Pittsburgh Penguins face the Philadelphia Flyers in Pittsburgh. It was my first ever game. We sat in section 210, row E, seat 15 and 14.
Very descriptive.
Yeah, because in case you guys ever go there, know that the host of Trashy Radio's ass was there at one point.
Know that Tyler got his ass eaten right there.
And I had a Labatt Blue and a Labatt Blue Light.
Okay.
Good choice.
Not bad.
Well, because I figured, I was like, I gotta lean into it. You know what I mean?
Did you go the draft or the bottle?
The
24-ounce
can.
can.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Now listen to this. Okay, this is some horse shit.
$12 a can.
Oh, it's
No. Okay, so we went to get a drink. Me and Tina did. Okay, and I was like, "You go and get your pop. I'm gonna get another beer. All right." Up at the stand, they were selling beer. I'm like, "This is perfect. I don't have to hunt down some old guy and ask him for a beer." They were trying to sell me a Labatt Blue for $13. I just bought one for 10 outside of the line, and I said, fuck that.
It's a different size.
No, it was the same beer, same size, same beer. It was just because you were getting it in line. So afterwards, I hunt down. I got that. But the game was exciting for like spurts. Whenever it first started, Sidney Crosby had a goal within like 15 seconds, I think. There was a fight within like 2 minutes.
It was a great fight. You saw Jamie Alexiak destroy Wayne Simmons.
Yeah, but at the time I didn't know it was a good fight. I just thought it was just like, two dudes punching each other.
It's pretty rare to see a fight.
It wasn't like a lengthy fight, but it was a good, like, solid, like, he destroyed him.
I was impressed that they pretty much punched each other's helmets off. Like, that was kind of cool.
Was it on, like, your side of the ice?
It was on the other side. But, like, at one point, I know, like, the Pens player, like the referees looked like they were going to stop the fight.
And he pushed him away.
And he, like, kind of did, like, he kind of was like, just wait. Like, I'm not done with this motherfucker kind of deal. Or, like, it's cool. Like, I wasn't sure exactly what the proper hockey fight protocol is, but he was just kind of like, we're good. Don't worry. I'm going to break his nose here.
Normally, the refs try to step in and stop it once they see if, like, the players are gassed or some guy's, like, really getting his ass kicked.
Mm.
But that was, like, a pretty fair fight at that point, so.
Well, so then, the fight ended, and the Pens player went to the box, and the Flyers player, Simmons, was, like, left.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
broke his fucking nose.
At the time, I didn't realize he broke his nose. So at the time, I'm like, did he just get, like, thrown out of the game? Because I didn't realize that happened, like, in hockey for fighting. Like, I can maybe see, like, if you really were, like, fucking tried to take your stick and, like, break someone's face over it. But, so that happened. Then I'm not going to lie, kind of the parts in between, like, the scores are kind of boring. But, I mean, like, I've been to plenty of basketball games, and it was kind of the same thing where it's, like, there's parts that are boring. Probably like any sporting event, maybe except football. I could see football being more exciting the whole time, but there's down parts.
If you know hockey, it would be more exciting to watch because you know what they're doing. If you don't know what they're doing, you're like, they're just
But like, the thing
around.
was, like, there wasn't even shots on goal. Like, at least if there were shots on goal, like, it would kind of be exciting. But like, it literally just seemed like they would just pass it around.
Yeah, they've had more exciting games.
Like, it seemed like the Pens, each player had to touch the puck before they were allowed to shoot. Like, and I get
running into that problem where they're trying to pass too much, and they're just like, they have a couple games where they just put these greasy shots on net, and they get greasy rebounds and they go in. We need to do more of that. They're trying to get too fancy and pass it around, get these cool highlight reels.
Well, yeah, and so like that's what I said to like some people at work. I was like, it seemed like they were trying to like everyone had to touch the ball before they would shoot, and they were like, oh, you just don't know hockey. That like.
I mean, that's true, but.
Well, yeah, but
I
it's
understand
like,
what you're saying.
But it seems like literally like some dude could not even be important, and they were like, oh, I'm gonna pass it. Like they'd be on the one side, and they'd throw it all the way around, do that thing around there, and they'd just get fucking picked up every time. And it's like, just fucking shoot it at least.
What do you think of the stadium and the atmosphere of the game, being a rivalry game? First
So.
time there.
So it was almost like there was two games. Like the first two periods, okay, not bad. But like the third period, since we were down, I think within like the first minute or so, Philadelphia scored, and then it was like, oh shit, this isn't a tie game. Like this isn't a tie game anymore. So that atmosphere was awesome. Like you could tell it was so much more tense and stuff like that. Things were so much more physical. You could tell people actually gave a damn about the game at that point. Flyers are dirty. I see why everyone says that. I know at one point Geno Smith, I think, that's a player, right?
Geno Smith.
Geno.
Kenny Malkin.
Geno Smith.
Talking about Malkin?
No, is there Smith?
On who, the Pens or the?
Yeah, the Pens.
No. Geno is Evgeny Malkin's
There's Casey
nickname.
the Smith, the goalie.
Oh, maybe they were. I could swear someone said Geno Smith.
Nah.
Okay, maybe.
Isn't he like a fucking basketball player?
No, he's a football player.
Football player?
He got his fucking face punched in the Jets locker room because he's a dick.
Well, either way,
Anyway.
there's someone. So like, this also happened a couple times, which is annoying as hell. Is like, the puck would get stuck along the side, and like both teams would then put their skate in front of the puck, and they would just fucking like with their stick,
Jerk each other off.
just like
Working
get
the boards. It's just part of
It
the hockey.
is so
But
boring.
it's part of the hockey.
if that happens for more than 3 seconds, it should go to that puck drop.
That's why you and Tita should have paid an extra $400 and got glass seats and
You're
just
right.
banged on the fucking glass the whole
You're
time.
right. And so the one time this happened in front of the Flyers bench, and after like the puck got out, you could clearly tell our player tried to get away, and you could literally see his jersey being pulled from the Flyers bench, and his hands were up in the air like this, like trying to get away, and the referee just stared right at him like this is normal. And a couple times, like I know Letang got called for tripping twice in a row. Like literally, he got called for tripping, which I'm pretty sure he got pushed, and then like his stick just happened to land and then catch someone. He went to the box for 2 minutes. The second he got out, 20 seconds later, he got called for tripping again. So back in the box he went. And then another time, we were like kind of on like sort of a breakaway, kind of like it was looking really promising. And the exact same thing happened where like a Flyers player fell like right in front of the goal and just fucking tripped our dude. Nothing. And it was just like, what in the hell is going on here? And it seems like every time Pens players were on the ground a lot more than the Flyers players were. But it seems like every time they tried to get up, like they would just get fucking cross-checked to the back.
Oh, fuck the Flyers.
But cool seats. Like no matter where you are, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, like no matter where you were in the state, like I was in the nosebleed section, I could still see perfectly fine.
Did
Like
you, did you meet Iceberg?
No, I didn't meet Iceberg.
Did your section win free hot dogs?
No, unfortunately not.
Damn.
So, but I would go back to another game. Like I said,
Trash
hockey.
to radio takes Pittsburgh.
Like I said, hockey's still not my sport, but I
You
got
gotta
to
watch
see,
it with like if you watch it with me and Chance,
Oh,
well, that
you'll
is
get
probably
into
true.
it. Yeah.
I did shout because at one point, like the goalie kind of got hit. Like one of the Flyers players shoved one of our players, I think Kessel, into the goalie, and the goalie was like laying on the ground acting like he was injured. I'm not proud of the fact, but I did shout, "Get up, you pussy," as loud as I could. Not proud of that moment. Not proud of it.
Jesus.
I was trying to get into it though.
You know what? I'm glad that you did that. I mean, at least you tried to get into
compared to
it.
this older gentleman beside me, he must have been a sailor. Because my God, dude, you act like he knew the referees by person or something the way he was talking.
Dude, that's just the Yinzers, man. The Yinzer fans, they're nuts.
So it was a good experience. I'll have to go back to another game. I'm glad I got to see one of the best hockey players ever in Sidney Crosby play.
It's
score a
something.
goal.
He's amazing. It's crazy.
However, they really didn't hype him up. They were really trying to hype up Gensel, I think. See, is Gensel on the first line?
Sure.
Depends.
Yeah, it depends on the night, really.
Okay, well, they were really trying to hype him up compared to Crosby, which I was really surprised at. So,
Crosby's, he's not all about the attention. He fucking
well, apparently last time they played the Flyers, didn't he like go off? Didn't Gensel have like 4 goals or something?
Yeah,
like
he did. He scored 4.
So I don't know if maybe that was the reason why, but they were really trying to play into the fact that he was there. So yeah, so that was my NHL experience right there. A little bit of NBA news. Katie came out and pretty much said that it's tough to play with LeBron, that like other stars don't want to play with LeBron, pretty much because LeBron's LeBron, and no matter what, you always be the number 2. No matter who you are on this planet, you always be number 2. And so that kind of happened, and he was trying to make it seem like he's pretty much made it sound like LeBron has all these, minions in the media to kind of shape the narrative, which Stephen A. Smith pretty much said is true, that like people will follow whatever LeBron says, and I could believe that. So that just kind of happened, so it's something to keep an eye on, because I know a lot of people were saying that maybe that's a possibility for KD to go to Lakers. I know some rumors are going around that the Lakers are trying to acquire AD here on December 15th, whenever they're allowed to trade for him. I do not see that happening.
Wouldn't it take a lot, though?
New Orleans would have to be the dumbest team at that
Because
point.
he's literally like a fucking generational player.
He is probably number 3 in the league right now, behind LeBron and KD. And it's one of those things where New Orleans has yet to be able to build a team around him, and like they're just so incapable of it. Like they gave Drew Holiday such a big contract that they couldn't do anything else, and so AD has another 2 years on his contract, so he could easily go to the Pelicans and say, hey, I'm not going to re-sign, trade me now, and you'll at least get something back. So I would actually think that Boston would be able to give a way better package than the Lakers could. But if AD were to say, hey, I only want to go to the Lakers, trade me there, they could in theory then do something like that.
That'd be sick if he went to Boston.
Because if the Lakers get KD or any other Supermax star in free agency this year, they will not have the cap space to sign Anthony Davis the next year. So just something to keep an eye out for. So that pretty much is it for the sports news for today. I know it was kind of...
Quick thing, did you see Markelle Fultz came out and said he had some fucking shoulder injury?
Yeah, so he officially got diagnosed with his shoulder. It's like shoulder nerve pain or something like that.
Yeah, it's some affecting his shot.
But apparently it is treatable. So apparently no other doctor up to this point has given him with this kind of thing. So we're gonna wait and see. If not, I would honestly expect for him to be traded here, because Philadelphia's in a win now mode, especially with the Jimmy Butler move.
Yeah, and he's like in California fucking around, you know.
Yeah, he's in California trying to get all healed up. So I would not be surprised. It just might be. And he even came out and said that it might be better for him to get another change of scenery. So
I mean, does Philadelphia even need him at this point? Jimmy Butler's been fucking balling.
No, Jimmy. They went from a young developing team to a oh shit, we're trying to win right now. Whenever Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid carried them pretty much to the 3rd seed. So they just need to fill out their roster with a little bit better.
Are all 3 of them playing?
Who?
Simmons, Embiid, and Butler?
Yeah, oh yeah, all of them are playing. Except Ben Simmons still can't shoot an outside shot. The second he shoots an outside shot, they're the best team in the East, for sure. Because then you have like a knockoff LeBron. But like it'd be like knockoff in the terms of like, oh, you wanted Gucci, but instead you got like Calvin Klein or something like that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That sounds like me.
You're still getting some good ass shit, but
Can't afford Gucci. Let's go with Calvin Klein.
so. All right, but now is there any other news that any of you want to bring up before we move on? Chance, you got anything?
You see those videos of those fucking Steelers fans fighting in the stands?
So
I thought you were in
embarrassing.
there, Chance, because you said Tomlin should be fired, and they all fired back at you.
That's what I felt like. I wanted to do that to myself.
Chance, do you want to issue an apology to Tomlin right now before this?
No, dude. Fuck Tomlin. Fuck anyone who supports Tomlin. You're a fucking brainwashed fiend. I don't know.
Can we tweet at Tomlin trying to get him on the podcast?
I don't want Tomlin. Dude, Tomlin's... I just can't stand him, dude. His fucking press conferences even piss me off, dude. He, like, always acts like it wasn't his fault, and then he, like, gives the runaround to questions. He never fucking answers anything.
Man,
like,
it sounds like a quarterback I know as well.
yeah,
It's never
yeah.
his fault.
Wonder why that is.
All right. Well, now we're definitely going to video games. That's it.
That's it. Fuck Tomlin.
So a game that all of us now officially own, Fallout 76. They're kind of in some shit right now.
Oh, yeah.
So the game itself has a lot of bugs. A lot of people are kind of, I wouldn't say not having a good time with it, but there's just a bad overall review score going around for Fallout 76, which I know, Lucas, you're not the biggest fan of it. You bought it.
I regret buying it. Not
Do you?
gonna lie. Yeah. I don't hate it, but
But
I'm
you only
not
tried it one
gonna
time.
give it enough time to play it. You know what I mean? So
I mean, whenever
didn't
me,
need to
you, and
buy
Chance
it.
were running around, like that was fun.
Yeah, it was
kinda.
fun. That's what that game's made for. You have to play with friends. I'm tired of seeing. Every time someone shits on it, I do defend it. Like even today, I was talking to my friends about it. Because they're expecting a Fallout 5. They're expecting this amazing story and like this lore and all these like bonds with these characters. But like this is literally a multiplayer world.
Yeah, it's a grindy multiplayer.
It's made to play with your friends and build camps. That's the only reason this game is made.
Fight monsters.
Now saying that, I think it should have been a $30 or a $40 game because it's not a full game.
Yeah,
So that's
they
all you
should've-
can do.
Now, see, I'm curious to see, depending on how Bethesda goes at it, if they decide to make this like they do free updates and stuff like that, then the $60 value kind of starts to build up.
I
Or
think
if
they
had
said
to-
that all DLC was free.
Oh, really?
But
Until I see that, I will be, because all of the DLC for...
But at the rate that they're going, like they're losing so much money, that could be like months, years maybe before DLC.
Well, so then the other thing came out where if you bought the $200 collector's edition, which I don't know, did you, Chance?
I thought about it. Before all this shit, during the summertime, I legitimately thought about it because I love Fallout. I thought that the power armor helmet was sick, but I couldn't find it because it like wasn't in stock online. And fuck GameStop, I don't buy shit from there anymore. But yeah, I didn't. But I'm glad I didn't.
Well, thank God you didn't, because on there they said that you would receive a free canvas bag. Okay, canvas, Lucas. You know what canvas is?
Nice, high quality material.
Well, instead, they got a nice gym bag material, that shitty nylon.
About worth $5.
And so a bunch of people, obviously, if you spend $200 on a game for collectibles and that is what you get, you would be very pissed, would you not, Lucas?
Right.
So people then complained to Bethesda and, kind of wanted to get their money back. Some people were able to get their money back, other people's weren't. And Bethesda thought the idea to go with was, we will give everybody 500 atomic points to make up for this.
Equals about $5.
It equals exactly $5.
$5.
So pretty much they completely undercut, completely
So you paid $200 for a $30 game and a $5 bag.
And a helmet.
$5 bonus.
And a helmet. You got to figure.
And wasn't the helmet kind of shitty quality?
I thought people thought the helmet was nice.
No, I heard it was pretty shitty.
I heard it was like
I
plastic.
heard it's really cheap plastic. There's like a voice changer in it. It's shitty, like Walmart quality voice changer, and like the light on it doesn't work or something.
But so needless to say, they bamboozled everyone. And the thing is they didn't even tell anybody that they were changing it either. That's the thing. So it was blatant misrepresentation, false advertising. And then they have the audacity to, once people complain about it, they say, we will give you $5 worth of our in-game currency that has nothing to do with anything on the outside. You gave us real-world money, but we're going to give you $5 worth of credits.
I think
They completely
to justify,
botched it.
even come close to justifying what they did, they should have gave you at least $100 worth of in-game currency.
Oh yeah, they should have just
at
been like,
least,
here's,
and that's still pushing because that's fake money.
But I think if those people would have gotten $100 worth,
It would have been a lot better than.
I don't
5.
think people wouldn't have been as mad simply because, like, if you think about it, how often are you really going to use that bag?
Yeah,
well,
that's what I'm saying.
the really fucked up thing that I saw was someone like emailed Bethesda and like called them out on this, and they were like, "Yeah, those canvas bags were only given to like donators and supporters of like the game, like the publishers and shit, and the rest those were just like for show." And I thought that was fucked up. Like you give them to the people who like your publishers and shit, but like not the people who actually support your game.
Yeah.
Know?
So Bethesda's just really botching at this point, and like the problem is that Bethesda is such a good publisher. They've come out with all sorts of games. All of them are generally knockouts for the most part. You know what I mean? It's
just like you'd think that they'd learn from all the mistakes that EA's made and like the loot box fiascos and shit that's gone on like this past year. Like gamers aren't going to take that shit anymore. Like,
see, I don't think like EA's problem. I think was they were just so money hungry, and I don't think Bethesda's problem is that they're money hungry. I just think Bethesda's problem is that like they thought that they could maybe half-ass this game in the sense that they use the same engine that Fallout 4 has. They did all this, and they're like, hey, if we just add this, everyone will think it's a tits.
Well, the funny thing is that they've been using the same game engine for like their past 4 or 5 games, and usually all of their games are glitchy as fuck like when they come out, and usually the modding community fixes their games for them, like so they don't have to do any of the work after it's released. And this is like the first time since it's like an online game, there's no mods. And this is like the first time that the developers actually have to like go in and fix with patches and shit because like the modding community isn't doing anything with it.
Yeah, so pretty much Bethesda's just botching us. But I think this is kind of like a Sea of Thieves things where it's like if you go back maybe a year from now, or like if you get back in a year from now, it'll be a totally different game.
It's literally No Man's Sky all over again. It'll be a good game. I think it is a good game.
You really enjoyed it, Chance.
I still enjoyed it. If people sit down and actually play it, like don't look at it as a Fallout game. Like just go in and be like, okay, I'm gonna do these quests, get these missions, upgrade my character, fight these monsters, get some guns. It's fun, and it's fun when you play with people. But if you go in just thinking it's another Fallout game, like you're in for a big surprise.
Well, now, do you think that's maybe what hurt them is the fact that they said, here's a Fallout game?
Yeah, but they came out and said that it was online only. There was no human NPCs in the game. And you don't need human NPCs in the game. Like there's plenty of other NPCs in the game. There's robots, there's like monsters, like super mutants and shit you can talk to. And there's like all kinds of lore and shit like through if you play the game, like reading shit and like looking through it. It's neat. And like that's the setting of the game. Like all the humans are dead. Like the players are like the people repopulating the planet. Like that's what it's supposed to be like.
Yeah.
And I just like people. I think half the people like arguing this shit, like they don't even play the game.
Yeah, they're hating on it because they're supposed to hate it.
They're hating on it because everyone else is hating on it. Like oh fuck Fallout, you know, fuck them.
So I just think it's just hang in there and hopefully it'll get better.
I did see that Bethesda is sending out actual canvas bags now.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, you have to show proof that you purchased a bag.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Purchased the collectors, and they'll send them out. They said that like you have until January 21st or something to do this. Because I guess people threatened a class action lawsuit.
As they should have.
And that's cheaper than just fucking doing that.
Well, because think about it. I think the problem is that they even gave the $5. If you wouldn't have given anything, that would have been better than giving $5.
Well, I think it was fucked that, like, even after all this news broke that the bags were, like, fucked. Like, the online still said, like, canvas bag in the description. And then they, like, changed it, like, immediately after all this, like, broke out.
Really?
And that's fucked, yeah.
Yeah, that is fucked. So we'll just have to see it. I think Bethesda's a good studio still, and I think they'll make it right.
Yeah,
you just gotta give them time.
I think they'll bounce back.
Because the other thing is they're probably just so busy trying to fix the actual game that like something like this, they're probably like, oh, just give them 500 atomic points. Like they'll get over it. Like it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
Little do they understand, if you buy collector's edition for a game, you are dedicated.
I think this is just gonna make people like more and more people aren't pre-ordering because of shit like this, and I think this is gonna be the tipping point. I know I'm not gonna pre-order any more games.
You're done pre-ordering games?
Unless I know that it's a good game, like from a good developer, like fucking Red Dead Redemption 2. Like the game has no glitches or anything. Like it's
well, because really, if you think about like, what do you gain from pre-ordering a game?
I mean, back in the day, you had to pre-order it so you knew you got a fucking copy.
We've talked about this before on the pod.
Oh, have we?
Yeah.
No.
Pretty early in the series.
Lucas, we're 15
so
episodes in.
go back, listen to episode 1 and find it, and keep listening, and come back to this episode.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's our opinion on pre-orders.
I don't know. I feel like the game's fun if people give it a chance and play it like a different game. It's good. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Fair enough. Also, Smash is coming out on Friday, I think. Thursday or Friday. So next podcast, I'm getting it. Chance, are you getting it?
I'll get it for Christmas.
Okay, well, I'll get it, and I'll give some impressions. I'm a shitty Smash fighter, but we'll see what we can do.
Sad.
So until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to this longer podcast. We just want a chance to get all of his emotional feelings out about.
This has been bottled up for literally fucking 4 days.
Like Chance was pissed at me because I had to work instead of here trying to do the podcast.
I've had blue balls for 4 days.
And you can't have that. That just hurts a man. So until next time, we'll see if Chance relieved his blue balls or not. So
let's go Raiders.
Catch you next time.
Happy Kwanzaa. Hanukkah.